Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Oh my goodness, we already have people on. This is awesome. Hello. Happy Saturday morning. Well, it's Saturday morning here in Sydney. I'm excited. Have really, really genuinely freaking enjoyed the past two manifestation musings. So, welcome to episode number 3. I just want to straight off the bat, I have no idea what I'm going to say. It all kind of comes through transmission. I might have some notes or things that I might have down or off the top of my head. Hello, hello, good morning. But yeah, so the reason why I say that, feel free in the comments if there's some kind of bit of my ramble or rant, you're like, fuck, that's good. I need to re-listen to that. Put in a hello, hello. Put in your timestamp. I'm sorry if you can hear banging. I don't know why. I feel like me and my neighbor are like connected and they're like, oh, Selena's starting a live stream. Let's go do renovations. Okay, let's get, what do I want to say? Oh, so much I want to say. I put up kind of two little bit spicy comments. One on YouTube last night, so I'm sure some of you may have seen it, like in the community tab, and then one on my Instagram. And I want to dive into that first of all. So, the first one that I put up last night, let's pull it up. I hope everyone is well and I hope everyone is happy. Okay, before I get started with that, it is Saturday morning here. I have no idea if you're on the other side of the world, it's probably Friday night. You have the whole weekend, okay, to decide what you're doing. The whole weekend. Hello. Please, 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 please do not be sat in your room, sat in your living room, deciding the whole weekend you're going to spiral, you're going to marinate in bullshit, you're just going to feel sorry for yourself, you're going to be a victim. You are not going to get this time back. We are going to die at some point. Please enjoy this time. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday night. Like, do something that makes you feel fucking good. Just because circumstances aren't perfect right now or there's unwanted things in your reality, that is not an excuse. And I'm going to be quite hard. That is not an excuse to not find something to do to calm yourself down, enjoy your night, enjoy your weekend. I don't fucking care if this person has said no 10 times, if you've got rejected from this job, if the money seems like it's not coming in, if you feel like you don't have the movement with your manifestation. You get to decide in this moment who you are being, okay? Who you are deciding to be. Please do not waste this weekend. Do not waste this weekend. It hurts my heart when I hear clients and like, yeah, like I had the worst weekend. I'm like, why? Like, what happened? It's like, well, nothing really happened in the 3D, but like I just felt really shit. It's like, okay, let me just rewind this. Nothing has happened in the 3D and you're still upset. Sorry, what's going on here? There is a big difference, in my opinion. Okay, you can feel the feelings. Yes, feel the feelings. There is a difference though with something has happened in the 3D and you have a reaction and you're genuinely upset. Maybe you're shocked. Maybe you get angry because something has happened and then you want to calm yourself down. There's a big difference between that and then nothing has happened in the 3D and you're like literally in your head making up scenarios and arguing in your head and making yourself upset when nothing is happening. See how there's a big difference there? One is no, like I'm reacted and I'm upset with something that's happened. And the other one is you're literally deciding with your imagination to marinate in bullshit. I will not waste this weekend. Please do not waste this weekend. You're not going to get this time back ever. This whole manifestation process, like this is about you. This is about you. This person, this job, this money, it's not going anywhere. Creation is finished. So please don't waste your beautiful, logical 3D time. Not a vibe. Okay. If you can't tell, I'm already kind of like pepped up, zhuzhed, hyped up. So let's see how blunt this live stream gets. This will be interesting. Okay, so this is what I put on my thing last night. I was like, spice rating, 3 out of 5. I feel like sometimes I kind of have to warn people how direct I can be. So it was like, if your SP moves on, and I say this in quotation marks because no one ever moves on or rejects you, okay, unless you accept that. If your SP moves on with a 3P, I hope you realize how low their standards actually are. And then also makes you question why you ever had insecurities in the first place. Please let that sink in. Like literally, you appreciate her bluntness? Awesome. Please let that sink in. This might be part of this, everything's part of your bridge, okay? And maybe this materialized so that you can clearly see with your own eyes how incredible you are. And it's finally time to drop the doubt and insecurities. So if your SP moves on with a third party, please see, and this is me being a bit sassy, but please see of like, oh shit, that's who you want to be with? Like compared to me? Oh my goodness, your standards are a lot lower than I thought they were. I don't know why I ever doubted or had insecurities about me because I'm fucking fabulous and I'm amazing. And this makes no sense. So please reframe everything you're seeing in the 3D to be working in your favor. This is part of your bridge. Like I said in that thing just then, this might be one of the reasons why this is materialized is for you to see, like see with your own eyes, be like, oh, fuck, why was I ever doubting? I need to get on my shit. If I've materialized this 3P situation, no, 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 no. I'm not persisting in that story. I really need to get on my stuff. I need to get rid of these insecurities, get rid of these doubts. I need to shift within me because this is shit's just going to snowball. Sometimes it gets to that point before to allow you to make that decision. A lot of people, it doesn't. For some people, when that materializes, that's the wake up call they need to be like, oh, fuck, okay, we're not doing this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Manifestation is actually a thing. And I can see where I have been doubting myself and not seeing how incredible and amazing I am. I'm not doing that anymore. So reframe everything. Everything you are seeing in the 3D is working out for you somehow. You just need to find the meaning as to how it's working out. And with that example, if the 3P has come into the situation, that has shown you that one, you can manifest because this is materialized for a reason. And two, you have some stuff you need to clean up within you. And what a fucking gift. Like, what a gift. Yeah. The fact that something has materialized in your 3D experience and it's like, okay, now it's an opportunity for you to like better yourself, for you to really love hard on yourself, for you to up level your self concept. Like, how fucking incredible is that? Like, what a gift. Every circumstance is an opportunity for you to double down on your beliefs even more. Okay. Okay. What is the next thing I wanted to speak to? Where was it? Same kind of vein. If anyone has anything they'd like to ask or any input updates, please pop it in the chat. Okay, so this is another one. I rated this a 3 as well. No, a 2.5. This isn't as spicy, but I thought it's a little bit savage, but I think it's a really good reminder. So I put on my Instagram last night. I'm like, just remember this. A lot of I don't want to say a lot of, I don't want that to be a belief in my reality. There are some people who think you have to be perfect. You have to have everything in place in order to manifest what you want, especially when it comes to a specific person. And that's a load of bullshit, okay? I want you to work on you for you, not for this other person, okay? So, this is what I said. There are people who aren't as cute as you and have received their manifestation. There are people who are less intelligent than you and have received their manifestation. There are people who are less stable than you and have received their manifestation, etc., etc. So why are you stressing? You don't have to be perfect. Just keep choosing that you are the version of you who has what you want. It gets to be as simple as that. All the techniques we use is to convince ourselves that we're this new version. No, I'm the version of me who feels safe and secure in a relationship. I'm the version of me who has this, who commitment is a normal and consistent thing. I'm the version of me who is making bank, who is always in overflow, who doesn't have to worry about money. I'm the version of me who I don't even notice my bills coming out of my account. That's how much money in excess I have. Like, I'm that version of me. That's who you have to be deciding who you are every single fucking day. Exactly. Like, it's a bit savage, but like, if other people who aren't as cute as you, aren't as intelligent, aren't as stable can get their desires, then duh, well, you're next. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're next. Like, those two things, yeah, you caught live. Those two little comments that I said, again, it's a little bit sassy and it's whatever, but sometimes you need a blunt reminder to remember like who the fuck you are. Like, you are incredible. And I feel like Some people don't realize, and an old version of me was definitely like this as well, of like, no, like I know, like I think I'm amazing. So why isn't this happening? Why has this person got their manifestation when I know I'm smarter than them? I know I'm better looking than them. I know I'm like more stable and confident than them. What's happening here? It's like, oh, first of all, that's interesting that you're even noticing that. You should be seeing that as a birds before land. If someone else is getting their manifestation, you're next. Like, fuck, I'm next. If they can do it, so can I. Because we're all connected. We're all one consciousness. Like, don't be seeing it as competition. Like, oh my God, how come she got it? Or how come he got it? What the fuck? And I've been doing it for longer than they have. What's happening? It's like that might be the little thing that is keeping you stuck in this version of you. Plus, it's like, who are you deciding to be every single day? I think too many people get caught up with affirming really surface level stuff and don't actually shift their self concept with money, self concept in relationships, self concept with XYZ. For example, okay, he loves me, he loves me, he loves me. Amazing, great, okay, cool. But who are you being in this moment? Are you the version of you who feels chosen in a relationship, who feels secure and safe in a relationship, who feels prioritized, who feels like your person only has eyes for you, who you always have commitment? See how it's like a tweak, but the focus is on you? It's like we're not trying to fix someone else or fix the situation. We're convincing ourselves. We're changing ourselves. Like that's what manifestation is. We're not saying affirmations and then looking at the 3D and going like, "Oh, you're gonna fucking conform because I'm saying this." It's like, "No, no, no, I'm going to change. My thoughts are gonna change, and then you'll conform." I intend that makes sense. Nope, I'm happy for them. My turn now. Love that. Yes, yes, yes. Exactly. There's no competition. Like, if you wanna be a bit sassy and be like, "Ah, duh, like, I'm gonna get what I want because, like, I'm cuter, I'm more intelligent, whatever." Like, you can do that. God of your reality. You don't have to tell people that. But again, yes, we're jumping, like you said, we're parallel jumping. We're shifting timelines. So it's not like you have to timelines. I don't know why I always stumble on that. Not timelines, timelines. You're not broken, okay? This version of you right now is not broken. You don't need fixing. You just need to decide you're shifting. Like, I'm going to be this version of me. And if you want to write it out, if you're like, okay, the ideal version of me, Selena, like I said, Selena 2.0 in yesterday's live stream, what, like, how am I thinking about certain topics? What's my routine? How am I acting? Like, what's my behavior? Like, if you want to like really get specific and then that's how you close the gap, or maybe it's literally as simple as like, no, I'm fucking deciding this is who I am. Every single morning, I'm deciding who I am. So any old thinking or any doubts that come into my mind, I'm not going to be scared of them ever. I'm not going to be fucking scared of stupid thoughts. I'm the observer. I'm way above my thinking. My thoughts aren't me. I'm not going to be scared of them. I'm going to allow them to pass. And if I find that I'm about to start marinating and really like grabbing onto a limiting belief, then no, that's the old version of me. I don't have to fucking think like that anymore. I know I'm this version of me who has heaps of fucking money, who blah 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 blah, who feels chosen, who feels prioritized, who feels like they have heaps of money and they can spoil everyone. Like that's what you want to be doing. It gets to be as simple as that. Manifestation gets to be as simple as that. And the thing here is when it's enjoyable and it feels good and your process feels good, you won't give a fuck about the 3D. You're not going to care about time. You're not going to be focused on the circumstances. You're not going to be getting triggered and butt hurt all the fucking time. You're literally going to be like, no, like it feels good to decide, be in my imagination, do my techniques because I know I'm changing within. I've said this like a million times, but I'll always say it again. There is no wasted time when it comes to manifestation. None. So if you're like, well, I've been manifesting for a year, consciously manifesting this thing for a year. Beautiful. That's been a whole fucking year that you've been working on yourself. You've shifted. You've shifted. So, okay, this is what I want to rant on. I just thought then. The version of you who you are now compared to the version of you who you were a year ago, you're not the same person. I'm not the same fucking person I was an hour ago, let alone a week ago, let alone a year ago. So even if the circumstances seemingly, and I'm going to say this, seemingly seem the same, which they're not, the version of you is different from a year ago, from a month ago, from 6 months ago. Therefore, you have shifted. your reaction, your thinking, your state of being is going to be very different, even if the circumstances seem to be the same. You've shifted, you've changed. Therefore, this will catch up. It's also really important to know it's like you're going to handle things differently. If, I don't know, money, specific person, whatever, the same kind of circumstance comes up, you're going to feel probably more secure because you've worked on your stability. You're going to be able to reject old thinking. And if something does come up that you don't like, you're able to just reframe it in the moment and go, ah, fuck that. I'm not accepting this. This isn't my reality. No, 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 no. This is what I actually want. Like that skill that you have honed over the past year, there's no waste of time ever. My mindset is so different. Sometimes I feel like a stranger to myself. 100%, 100%, 100%. It's like I feel, no joke, every single week, I feel like a new iteration of myself. I'm like, wow, something has really landed even further for me. Oh my goodness. And like celebrate that movement. So there's never any wasted time. I don't care how long it's fucking been. If you're changing yourself and you're doing the inner work, your 3D is going to catch up. The caveat to that I would also say is let's actually be honest. For the past year that you've been consciously manifesting this, do you feel like a different person? If the answer is no, then we might need to actually tweak your approach. Maybe you're focusing, maybe the past year you've just been focused on really surface level, okay, affirmations. You haven't addressed your core beliefs. You haven't addressed stability. You don't feel like a different person. You're still behaving the same way. See how that's not congruent or in alignment with who you actually want to shift into. Just interesting note to kind of think about. Freeze time, reverse aging, body modifications, etc. Nothing is impossible. I love that. That's the thing. Like in your reality, whatever you decide to be the thing is what you get to decide it is. Some people, for example, are like, no, I don't like revision. I don't believe in revision. Okay, cool. In your reality, revision isn't a thing. For me personally, when it comes to revision, it's like, well, you're manifesting forward, normal manifestation, and revision is just manifesting backwards. So I don't see any difference. And you get to change that. Maybe you're like, no, I don't like revision. And now I do like revision. Maybe you're like, oh, we can freeze time and then you can't freeze time. Like manifestation's illogical. It doesn't fucking make sense. Nothing makes sense. Like when things pop out of thin air, like out of thin air manifestations, which I spoke about one yesterday, where I manifested like it was a piece of bathroom tile, like a shard of bathroom tile that was lodged inside my foot for like a month and I couldn't get it out. And it out of thin air disappeared overnight 3 days after I'd started affirming for it. Who can explain that? No one can fucking explain that. No one. And so many logical people or muggles in my current 3D experience are like, oh, like, like I I don't know, and they brush it off or they go, oh, I must have, maybe it wasn't really there. It's like, no, fuck, it was there. I could feel it in my foot the whole fucking month as I was like walking. Like, come on, come on. I haven't got any big manifestations, but the small ones happen daily. It keeps me motivated. You know what? I don't, what do I want to say this? One, I love that these smaller manifestations happen daily and it keeps you motivated. But it's like just practice, just continue to practice and really focus on you. Like continue to change who you are. Um, and you know what you can be doing? If you want to be building up evidence in your confidence, you can write a like a wouldn't it be nice kind of list and just be manifesting random shit like this person who doesn't normally wear pink, get them to wear pink or like just be like testing things. But I love that it keeps you motivated. Small and big, small, big manifestations is the same process because it's all you. So no matter what, this 3D has to conform. It honestly has to conform. Rewatch the last live and I feel so much better. Amazing. Thank you for answering my question. Also have been focusing on being the leveled up version of me and I feel so good. Yay. We love that. We love that. Again, it's about you and how you feel. This internal, okay, this is another rant, but I feel like that's what manifestation musing is. Just me going on rambles, inspired rambles. I'm so happy that you feel so good. It's like this internal shift means more to me than anything the 3D could ever give me. Anything, 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 anything. Who I'm becoming and the human I am means the world to me. I know the 3D is going to catch up to my inner world to like here. I feel my face has fucking changed and I look different from when I like years ago or even months ago, and I've done nothing, maybe lost a bit of weight, but that's about it. Like your 3D is going to shift as you feel more confident, as you feel more secure with yourself. The way I present myself on camera is so different to when I started my YouTube channel. And it's like continuing to refine and up level. So I'm so happy for you, Autumn, that you're just like focusing on being the up leveled version of you. Um, I'm a super manifestor. I say a parallel jump all the time. I love that. That's cool. That's awesome. And some people don't want to sit, some people don't vibe or resonate with multiple realities, infinite realities, and that's cool. But if you do, amazing too. You can make manifestation as logical and practical as you want or as spiritual as you want. I feel like I'm kind of in the middle and I like a little bit of woo woo. I like a little bit of science. I like a bit of whatever I decide. Um, you get to decide that. Just play with it, you know? Um, what else do I want to speak about? Okay. Let me have some water and then I'm going to rant about this. Ooh, I was ranting to my poor mother. She hears all this before I'm like putting it on socials, right? Like I'm like, Mom, da 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 da. So I was like, you know what? I actually need to get on live and I need to be saying this to the people who like vibe with me and get my work and like want to just be expanded because my mum, I'm like chewing her ear off. My mum, my sister, she's like, oh my God, this happened, this happened, this happened, blah, 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 blah. Be delusional. If you see any little change, no matter how little, chalk it up to a new parallel reality. It's good practice. It grows. That's awesome. That's cool. That's a really good mindset to have. But like celebrate the movement. Your video and repetition truly changed my life. Yay! That's what this work is. Like this work continues to change my life. And I'm just like, the more like I don't know, I'm just going to be rewording it however I can for everyone else. I'm so happy that landed for you. Yeah, like you were saying in regards to these parallel realities and change, like celebrate the tiny little bit of movement. Like celebrate the fuck out of that. Most people are rotting. They're not growing, they're rotting. They're doing the same shit over and over again, the same actions, the same behavior, the same thinking. And they do that for years and years and years, decades upon decades. And hello, look at us. We know all this amazing information and we get to apply it in real time and like watch our whole life like level the fuck up. Like, how incredible is that? How incredible is that? That's amazing. So it's like, any tiny bit of movement, even if you are just like, okay, the circumstance is still here, but I'm not phased by it. Wow. An old version of you would have been losing your mind, would have been fucking crying for days, would have been triggered, would have been like, oh my God, I need to vent to someone. I need to book psychics. I need to read tarot cards. I need to do something to calm myself down. That's all external and it's not internal because you want to be your safest anchor yourself. Like you want to have tools in your toolkit to be like, no, I got me. I'm going to fucking calm down. I'm going to do breath work or meditation or EFT tapping. I'm going to go to the gym, have a shower. Like I'm going to do what I need to do to look after me. I'm not going to like be like clinging on to someone and be like, fix me, help me. Because that's not anyone's job. That's not anyone's job. Even your partner, especially your kids. Whoa, I could go on a whole rant about that. You're right. That's what happened to me, unfortunately, but I'm trying to change since my new knowledge. And I'm so happy for you. Like, I really am that you've come into this. It's like, it feels exhausting. It feels exhausting to be so highly triggered. And then you're trying to seek stability in external things when you could give yourself that stability. Like you literally. I actually laughed at some of the circumstances, like, damn, universe, you have a wicked sense of humor. Thank you. That exactly. It's funny when some things push out, you that space where you're able to laugh at circumstances, you kind of like, all right, you think this is really going to trigger me? Oh, you really want to say no? Okay, sure. Have fun. Bye. I don't fucking care. I'm good. I'm stable within myself. I know how to have a good time. Like I'm a bunch of fun. I'm very happy with that's what I mean about don't waste this weekend. Don't waste this weekend. You can do whatever you want this weekend. Like ideally, I would like to just be indoors and just be a couch potato because it's getting cold here in Sydney. But I need to get my butt to the gym. That's what I need to do. But yeah, like that space where you're you're able to laugh at circumstances, and you're able to feel stable within yourself. Ooh, that is powerful. Okay, I'm gonna go into this thing about stability when it comes to like your own stability. Your happiness is your responsibility. Your stability is your responsibility. I have very much in the past, in past relationships, when I was very highly anxious and I manifested my anxiety, my depression away. Like, honest to God, before I even knew about conscious manifestation, one day, not one day, but one day I was very, very depressed, like heavily depressed for nearly a year. It was awful. I asked because in that moment I still believed in God. I was raised Catholic. The next morning I woke up. Uh, it felt like a weight was lifted off my chest. I ran into my mum's room. I think I was about 13 at the time. And I was like, it's gone. It's gone. I meant like, it's gone. It's gone. And she's like, what's gone? I'm like, the depression is gone. Like, I'm back to me. Ever since that moment, I have been on this journey of like, I'm going to learn so much about this shit because that was the turning point for me. So, whatever has happened to you, any past circumstances, like, like, I'm sorry, but it's allowed you to be who you are and come into this work. Because I feel like so many of us come into this coming from icky circumstances. Obviously, you come into conscious manifestation because you want to change your life. And then you're able to help more people because you're able to pass this knowledge on. What was I going to say? I went on a totally different tangent then. Oh, stability. This was it. So, I wanted to say about, so I used to have quite bad anxiety, but I also used to use it as a manipulation tool. I used to amp the fuck up out of my anxiety because I could get out of situations. I could cry and win an argument. I could make the other person feel sorry for me. I could get my way. Oh, like you're going out with your friends or whatever. And I would like spin it so that, like, oh, you had to stay home with me. Like all this bullshit. Okay. And sometimes I knew what I was doing, but a lot of the time it was very unconscious because I was so in my victim state. And it feels so icky to like say that, but like that was the truth. I could, I was so self aware at some points where I was like, I know I can get my way if I use this anxiety. That gets very tiring for me, for the other person. No wonder that relationship broke down and other relationships broke down because you're doing that. Don't fucking do that. I don't want you to get into this dynamic where you're the, I don't know, what's the say, like the damsel in distress, and the other person has to be your knight in shining armor and has to continue to save you over and over and over again. And that's the dynamic you form with someone. Yes, there are going to be moments where your partner, whoever you're with, supports you, but you don't want that to be like they have to fix you. You come home from work like so exhausted, angry, and then you're expecting this other person, like you'll dump all your shit on them and expect them to make you happy. No, don't fucking do that. That would annoy the fuck out of me. I've ended relationships before I knew about conscious manifestation where I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm a very happy person normally, and I don't want to take on someone's stuff constantly and be like, oh, let me be in coach mode. Let me fix you. Don't do that. Don't get into that habit. Be your safest anchor. Like, literally, it's like, okay, I'm not feeling great. I'm just going to take a moment, might do some breath work, go have a hot shower, and like, I'll be back. Like, I love you. I care about you. Like, when I'm ready, kind of thing. That's all you need to do. And your kids, please, like, if you have kids, don't, they're their own human. And yes, obviously, you want to be telling them what to do and guiding them, but like, don't make them your source of happiness either. Your kids, your partner, no one is responsible for your happiness besides you. And that's a bit of a mind fuck at the start. When things get rough, step up to the challenge. Believe me, the situation is only a smoking mirror. Yes, most of the time. It also builds your inner warrior. Oh, I love that. Inner warrior. That's awesome. I love your accent, by the way. And of course, you're beautiful. Aw, that's super sweet. Thank you. Oh, that's really nice. There's not many Aussies who speak about this sort of stuff. I think I know one. What's her name? Hedley Dorenzi. I don't know her, but I know of her. I don't think there are any other Aussies. And I feel like Australians, I'm just going to say it, we have a different vibe to everyone else. We're very different. Like, so I was like, okay, this is cool. Yes, a few months ago, I was so pissed off with someone I loved. That night, I told I have all these things I want to be doing. Holding on to grudges, holding on to resentment is not a vibe. Okay, what was the thing that I wanted to say? That I was am I back? Let me know if I'm back. It's back. Beautiful. Okay. Sorry. Don't know what happened. What's my charging like? No, it's fine. And the banging has stopped. Great. Okay, cool. What did I want to say in regards to with what I was saying about? Okay, this is what it was. So, this poor human. I was scrolling, I was at TikTok, Instagram, and I saw this woman saying about her circumstances and how she had flown. mm, She was materializing a specific person. They don't have the commitment just yet. And I don't think this person actually wants to be together with this person who was saying her stuff online, her business online. She had, because I said to my mom, like, I want to shake her and hug her and be like, don't do that. And no one do this. Do not move the other side of the country, right? To pick up your whole life for someone who you're not in a relationship with, you haven't materialized stuff with. Like, you don't need to be forcing stuff in the 3D to get what you want. She said she felt exhausted. She felt like it was really hard because she had to start her like a business again or whatever it was. Like, don't be doing that. And the reason why people do that and think that's a good idea is because their self concept is in the gutter and they don't trust that they can actually materialize what they want. It's like, why would you be forcing yourself onto someone like that? Don't do that. I don't care if this person flies to the fucking moon. You are not going to force shit into being when you know deep down you're an anxious mess. It's exhausting. You haven't changed your self concept. You haven't changed who you're being in this moment. It's like, please do not do that. My mom was like, yeah, like I can see why someone would do that in that state of being. And this isn't about judgment, but this is about like, oh, I just want to give her a loving shake. Like when I see situations like that, it's like if you knew how amazing you were, if you were so confident and secure within yourself, you wouldn't dare do shit like that. You'd be like, okay, cool, you're going there, amazing. Like, this is the best time to have a long distance relationship. Distance isn't an issue. So if you're currently in that where you're not with your person, hello, we have technology, flights. Like I gave the example yesterday of like my parents were in a long distance relationship for like fucking 6 years on opposite sides of the world with corded phones. Like, don't be scared of circumstances. Do not be intimidated by circumstances ever. Please do not force stuff. There is a difference between taking action that is action you would be taking that makes sense, and then action that you're like, some people want to do this where they're like, oh, well, I'm the god of my reality, so I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. And they try blanket and making an excuse of like, I'm going to do this icky behavior. I'm going to force shit in the 3D because I'm god of my reality. It's like, why are you making your life harder than it needs to be? Don't do that. Don't do that shit. Don't change your whole life because someone, like for someone else, where you're not in a commitment yet. Exactly. You can be in Zimbabwe and I will still be able to connect with your SP. Yes, yes, yes. It doesn't matter. We're all connected here. And I understand that people might miss people, like the physicalness, and I get that. But like the reason why the feeling feels so intense, how do I want to phrase this? Your icky feeling would not be as intense if you really trust manifestation is a thing. If you really knew that, no, I've wrote the script. I know what the ending of the movie is. So this stuff in the middle doesn't matter. It might feel a little uncomfy, but that's cool. I got tools in my toolkit to calm myself down. I can focus on my own life. You're not going anywhere, even if it seemingly looks like this person, this situation, whatever is going somewhere. I can materialize it. This isn't going to stop me. Do not be intimidated. Do not be intimidated. And it might feel difficult in the moment, but like we were speaking about before, embrace that inner warrior. Like, you're good. You're good. It's all working out for you. Every single day, you need to be deciding that. And because we shift states throughout the day, you might need to, most likely, like catch yourself and be like, oh, who am I? Who am I thinking as? Who am I embodying? Who am I embodied as at the moment? Who am I deciding I am in this moment? Because life happens. Like you might be at work and work's a little bit stressful, or someone says something and you kind of feel a bit like off. It's like, okay, let me recenter myself. Let me decide who I'm being here. Have I slipped into a victim state? Do I need to shift this? Like, what do I need to do to shake this shit off and come back to the version of me, the reality of me who gets what I want? And things can shift like that. Just like when you were saying about how, like, you woke up in the morning and this your person stopped being cold because you would like let that go. You'd shed that version of you. It gets to be that simple. You don't have to be perfect. It's um it's a continual process for life. Like we're doing this for life. We're manifesting till you die. How exciting. The creation process is forever. Or the selection process, if you want to see creation is finished, creation is done, and we're just selecting versions of ourselves, then you just get to select. Practice self control. It's very important. It stops you from making dumb decisions. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. There is nothing sexier than someone who has self control or impulse control. Ooh, ooh. Seriously. Especially in this day and age where we can be conditioned to instant gratification, instant gratification. Like, we want it now, we want it now. For someone who is able to practice and cultivate that self control, practice the impulse control, be a stable motherfucker and not be so reactive. Hello, you are so different from everyone else. Majority of people, like, and again, this is a limiting belief, a generalization, but a lot of the younger generation who are coming up, like I'm 27, I can only imagine like who they've always been in this kind of environment, always had a phone, always had social media. You'd be conditioned to be this certain way, especially now with a lot of social media being the rhetoric is very man hating, victimhood. Everyone has an issue, everyone has a problem, and now we're just gonna like wallow in that shit. It's like, I understand and I get life can be hard, but you also have the choice to choose different. If I was intimidated by all the fucking circumstances and all the shit that I went through in my life, right? It's not like I have two immigrant parents who came to Australia and we like made it work. And hey, that's what happens. It builds character. Like just get on with it, you know? Yeah, it can be really toxic. So you just have to be careful. And that's self-control and not absorbing, not taking on what other people say. Um, like have this like shield around you for like when people are talking shit about like, oh, housing crisis or economy or blah 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 blah, oh men, relationships, money. It's like, okay, cool, not in my reality, can't relate, not in my reality. And watch how it doesn't become part of your reality. There are always people, no matter the environment, whenever there's some kind of financial crisis, people thrive. Some people really suffer, and some people fucking thrive and make millions of dollars. Tell me why. The same circumstance, different outcome. I've always been impulsive because I wanted my situations to change fast somehow, but I've been trying not to be so much anymore because it doesn't always lead to a good place. 1,000%. 1,000%. No one likes to be rushed. No one likes to be rushed. No one likes to feel they've been forced into something. So sometimes the situation, your bridge of events, might call for like a little bit of space between two people. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be a long time. But see this as an opportunity, like you said, of like, no, I'm going to be more stable, less reactive. The fact that I'm not seeing this person or the situation hasn't conformed, whatever it is, money, job, whoever, whatever, right now, this gives me the opportunity to like focus on me. How wonderful is that? What a fucking gift. If your person breaks up with you, you're not with this person. Um, okay, that can be upsetting, but like now you have all this energy and all this time to be focusing on you. You're always winning, always winning. The more stable you are, the more like Stability and confidence is so fucking sexy. It's so sexy because it's rare. Unfortunately, it's rare in a lot of people. Everyone wants to cuss everyone out, swear at everyone, argue, be very reactive. You did me wrong in any situation, SP, work, kids. Like, you don't need to do that shit. Self control leads you to become a super master manifester. Think a grand wizard at the highest level. Oh my God, I love that. You are coming out with some really good lines this morning, I'll tell you that. Exactly. Exactly. And it's about, I think a lot of people think self control means like, it's going to take a long time, this manifestation. It's like, no, because again, the focus is on you. And the more frequent you're able to return back to this stable state, return back to your decision, return back to the version of you like, no, I'm getting what I want. And you keep doing that, things have to shift. Things have to shift. Things will recalibrate every time you shift states. Even if your logical eyes cannot see it, things are always moving. This will build up. It's just a matter of consistency. Everything is working. Plus, what will happen is when you continue to decide, no, I am this version of me who's stable, who's secure, who has all this money, who blah, 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 who has this dream life. I'm the woman who has it all. I don't have any limiting beliefs. Like, I'm good, I'm stable, I'm solid, like, whatever, all of that sort of juiciness. When you continue to do that day by day, moment by moment, your dwelling state, your base state of like when you're just like chilling, like and doing nothing, that state will change. And that's where we are most of the time, like our autopilot state of like just doing nothing, just getting on with stuff. That's going to change. And that's so important because we're not consciously thinking all the time. We're very much in autopilot. So when you're just chilling with friends, watching TV, cooking dinner, doing chores at work, driving in that autopilot state, the more we keep deciding to be this new version of us, the more we change this autopilot state. And that's how you've been manifesting all your fucking life. You've been in this state that you've continued to decide to return to over and over and over again. And then based on that state, and through those glasses, you've then reacted to your world and you're thinking, oh, this is happening to me and not through me. I refuse to entertain toxic behavior. Please, no, don't engage with it. I suggest everyone watch a lot of movies that deal with parallel realities and books related to that topic. Believe me, it will arouse your brain imagination, unleash unlimited possibilities. Ooh, that's cool. Watch Avatar Last Airbender. I feel like a lot of, I don't know, I've only watched a little bit of anime, but I feel like a lot of anime kind of deals with unleashing the power within, which is always fun. That's what life is, you know? I have been talking for a good 40 minutes. Yes, thank you. It is currently 22 degrees Celsius, which is kind of warm for like the third day of winter here. So I can't complain too much, but I do, not gonna lie, I have my hoodie inside out on my legs, on my floor, because I'm still a bit cold. You can run your mouth, it's a blessing. I can run my mouth. And that's why I speak. This is all through experience. I'm very vocal. I can talk your fucking ear off. So I know the work that I've had to put in to cultivate stability, to be like, do I want to react in this moment? Do I want to yell at this person? No, I don't. I'm going to calm myself down. I'm not going to believe in this bullshit. And I'm just going to like get on with my day. And I'm going to focus on me. It's summer here and I have my favorite sweatshirt on. I keep AC low at night. Oh, I wish it was summer. Call me cuckoo for believing this, but there are many people who are using their imagination to live in their favorite video game. Oh. Reality is stranger than fiction. Ooh, that's deep. Reality is stranger than fiction. Okay, I want to touch on something there that made me think. So, like I said, you get to decide how delusional you want manifestation to be, how practical and logical you want manifestation, but you get to decide that. You get to decide how much you want to. I don't want, how do I want to say this? Personally, for like safety reasons, I don't want you to be so delusional from the 3D, you put yourself in unsafe situations. Like, I don't want you doing that. Okay. I want you to be able to be like, okay, we still function in the 3D, but I'm not going to accept this if I don't want to. If it's a situation that I don't like, I'm not going to accept this. So, like, I don't want people fucking going, oh, I'm going to grow wings, manifest wings, and I'm going to jump off this shit. Like, don't do stuff like that to test your powers. Like, don't do that. Okay, please. Don't do silly stuff. Like, let's actually be reasonable and realize we still are a sack of meat. As much as we are consciousness, we are in the 3D. Just keep yourself safe. Manifest whatever the fuck you want to manifest, but just keep yourself safe. I said to myself, I love how my SO was thinking of me one time tonight, and he texted me seconds later, apologizing for no contact after 3 weeks. Yay! Woo, 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 woo. He was thinking about you the whole 3 weeks. Of course, because he's your significant other. See how we're all connected? See how we're all connected? It blows my fucking mind. When stuff like that happens, yeah, he was. Exactly. He was. And then what will happen is the more you persist in, no, this is the version of me. It's normal for me to have loving, consistent communication. That will stop. It will just be regular. Like, this is all like a growth and refinement process. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. We can be working with it. So don't, how do I say this? I think there are lots of opinions when it comes to materializing a romantic relationship. They have to be right. Like, you have to come correct from the get-go. Whereas when it comes to like friends, when it comes to family members or work colleagues, there's a bit more lenience and a bit more grace, which like I understand because there's a difference in dynamic. Yet at the same time, you're two people from very different upbringings coming together. If the closer someone is to you, the more your wounds and limiting beliefs are going to come up. So you get to decide what you're willing to persist through and recreate. That's a decision that you get to make. Okay, what am I at to? I feel every time I watch a movie or anime, I get to know myself deeper. Oh, that's good. What did I start watching? I only started watching anime recently. I had to stop because I cried. I kept crying every single freaking episode. What was I watching? Black Sword? Is that what it was called? About the Wizard King. And I couldn't. I was like, I can't watch this. I'm crying every episode. I was 5 when I thought I was Superman, got on top of a ladder and jumped, landed face first. Oh, even as a kid, I was breaking back. Yeah, please don't do that as an adult. Please be safe. You can still hurt yourself. Manifest amazing things, but you're not immortal in this form. I agree. And if that's a limiting belief, I'm cool with that. Fucking be safe. Look after yourself. When I was 5, I thought I could walk through walls. Sweet. Oh no. The wall one. I still have the scar. Shit. Black Clover. Yeah, that's it. It gets deep. Ugh. I think maybe I was on what do they call it? It's not episode. It's not episode. It's something else. I don't know what it's called. It's not episode 10. They name it something else. I don't know. That's how much I watched it. I couldn't do it. Yes. Remember, we still function in the 3D. You don't have to ignore circumstances. You just don't have to be intimidated. Stranger Things is amazing. I've never seen The Matrix. I need to see it. No, you have to. That's like I'm going to call it an Australian classic because it was, the first one was it was filmed here in Sydney. And I know, I'm like, oh, I know that actor. I know that actor. You have to. The Matrix is amazing. Okay, what is something else? I feel like there's something else that I wanted to riff on before I jump off because I need to do food shopping. Not my favorite. I'm very grateful. I get to buy food, but it's not my favorite job at all. What was something else that I wanted to speak to? Okay, so yeah, not my favorite either. What is Matrix? Matrix. Sorry, it's gone over my head. Okay, this is what I want to speak about. This work requires discipline. Okay, so you either deal with that and you accept that, especially if you're at the start of your journey, or you just go back to your old programming and you are the material world. Or you either deal with it and accept that this work requires discipline. It gets easier the more you do this, but especially at the start, you have to Be like, no, I want this. I want to do this way of living. I want to be this version of me. In and out, in and out, in and out of like, oh yeah, I'll do it for a bit. I won't do it for a bit. You're wasting energy. You're wasting energy. It gets exhausting. You're lengthening this process longer than it needs to be. And you're actually cutting yourself off from this amazing potential that you could be stepping into. Like, who doesn't want to feel their most happy, secure version of themselves who's fucking hot, rich, can do what they want? Do you know what I mean? Like, let's not waste our logical time going back and forth, wavering when you can just decide and be like, no, I'm disciplined. I'm doing this every single day. I'm deciding this is who I want to be. And then bit by bit, things start to shift. And remember, things can happen like this. You could get off this live with me, and then the thing you've been materializing, consciously manifesting, boof, the whole manifestation pops in. You're like, oh shit, I didn't realize that was a thing. And it'll probably leave you a little bit shaky, like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. That's the best. When manifestations come in just out of nowhere, you're like doing something else and the manifestation pops up. I will net that. If I could sell that feeling, mm, I'd be a billionaire. That is the best feeling in the world when you're like, I did that. I am Harry Potter. I fucking did that. Um, yeah, watching your thoughts. And you'll realize when you start this journey, as you decide to be disciplined with it, like you don't have to make this hard, but you need to have that commitment. I don't want you feeling like you have to grit your teeth and like persist through stuff. Sometimes it will require that, but there's other ways of doing things. I don't want you to feel like you have to persist through circumstances. You can just drop the focus on this circumstance and decide to select something else. And this circumstance will disappear. I don't want you to feel like you have to like, oh, like fight it. Sometimes there might be moments it feels like that, but you get to choose how you want to persist. Yes, breaks are the best. Yes, I agree. It's like it doesn't make sense to constantly be like, okay, there's a situation or a circumstance that I want to overcome. Now I'm going to keep focusing on that circumstance that I need to beat. Well, you're focusing on the fucking circumstance, so it's not going anywhere. It's like, okay, let's go live our life. Let's go work on our beliefs. Let's go calm ourselves down and stop focusing on that. And that little like, how would I describe it? It's like you're putting gaps in your awareness, like you're instead of focusing on this thing, you're distracting yourself, productively distracting yourself by doing other things. That's why when you're highly triggered, getting very extra and very specific with your schedule and your routine can be so, so good because you're like, okay, this thing, I feel like my life is on fire, right? The 3D is like going crazy. I need to get super, super tight with my routine. So my mind is like just focused. And the more you do that, you'll detach from the circumstance. It won't feel as triggering. And then you'll be able to come back to that and not feel as intimidated and be able to just keep deciding who you are. Practice discipline by changing your thoughts on the fly. It's hard at first, but gets easy as you go along. So yeah, it's just deciding to not be, I'm not going to accept that thinking. You don't have to, I don't want people to think they have to change every single thought. Allow it to pass. But if you feel like you're about to marinate in something or you go, oh, yeah, okay, that kind of hurts. No, that's not me. That's old version of me. I'm not thinking that way anymore. Getting distracted is way too easy. If it's productive distraction and you're still working on your beliefs, I think that's great. Because sometimes you can distract yourself, you can procrastinate. Let's use that word. I don't know if that's the correct word for this circumstance. But say you distract yourself, but you're not actually doing the work, you're not changing your thinking, you're just like, oh, I'm just not going to think about it anymore. But your dominant way of thinking is still icky. That's when I think it's like, okay, we actually need to do a little cleanup here. What is the easiest thing to manifest for you all? Food. I don't even need to think about that. Food like this. And you know what's a really good thing? If you're like, so money is the easiest. I love that. That's awesome. So for me, free food like all the fucking time. Like if you know there is an area that you can manifest very easily, yeah, well, money, say money currently, this version of you, it's not very easy to manifest. It's like, well, money is so easy, just like I can manifest food. I can manifest money just like I can manifest free food. Yes, persistent is key. I did that after 10 months of no contact, and he contacted me, but I had to stay on top of it. I was doing me when he came back. Yep. I was doing me when he came back. Yeah, that's usually what happens. For me, it seems like employment opportunities, but that's not what I care about the most. And that's the thing. Because you don't care about it and there's no resistance, and you probably don't have many opposing thoughts or stories, that's why it comes in very quick. Yeah, cool. Changing thoughts will help you fight the urge to commit that bad thought. Yeah, it's like you don't like have that awareness, don't accept it, and like don't let that thought materialize into behavior. I think that's like what you're like alluding to. It's like, okay, you've got the reason why you want to check the 3D, the reason why you want to stalk social media, the reason why you want to do something is because there's actually been thinking beforehand, and the thinking has come from the state that you're in. So if you're about to partake, yeah, exactly. If you're about to partake in shitty behavior that you know you're not meant to be doing, that's because of the state you're in. So um don't shame yourself. I don't want this to be a journey of like, "Ah, I'm wrong, I'm a shitty person." No, don't shame yourself, but just realize, okay, the reason why I want to check the 3D, the reason why I'm having this thinking is because I'm in a victim state. Let's just use victim state as easy terminology. I'm in a version of me who is believing the 3D, is believing that I can't get what I want. And I need to change that. How can I break that circuit? Okay, I need to shake this off somehow. I need to put my phone down. I need to go have a shower. I need to go eat something. I need to put on a manifestation video. I need to meditate, breath work. I need to do something to get out of this victim state. Maybe I need a rampage. I need to scream at myself in the mirror. Like, how can you shake this off? The more you do it, the easier it gets, and it won't have to be such a drastic thing that you have to do. You can just like decide, be like, no, I'm not doing that. Self control. Is tempting to stalk his ex, but I said, nope. I don't look for things I don't want to see. Yeah, you don't need to stalk his ex because she or he, whoever they are, is like down here. Like, God love ya, but like you kind of scum at the same time. See ya. Like, there's no interest in that person. So you don't need to stalk. Oh, okay. This made me think of something. I'm going to ramble on something, one last thing, and then I'm going to jump off. I manifest easily synchronicities in conversations, places, or even YouTube videos. We love that. That is, see synchronicities as like, that's movement. That's birds before land. I would see it as birds before land. Like it's working. What you're doing is working. Keep going. The only thing is, the only caveat is don't it's great that you're acknowledging the synchronicities, but I wouldn't want you going like, I'm only getting synchronicities. What's happening? Why is it not working? It's like, no, this is working. No, no, you're all good. Okay, what was the thing that I wanted to mention? It like escaped my brain. Oh, this was it. Inked and Beautiful said about an ex, and then that made me think of insecurities, and then that made me think of something. Okay. That was the train of thought that happened. Okay, so this is going to be a little harsh, but I mean, that's why we listen. That's why we come on these live streams pretty much. It's probably going to be a little bit spicy. Two things that I want to say. I was going to make a video on it. I need to make a normal YouTube video this weekend anyway, but I want to touch on this and I thought, you know what? This is good. This will allow me to practice how I want to say it before I put it into just a normal video. Okay, so one of my mentors, she doesn't do manifestation. She's very much more business, and her vibe is shadow work. She loves shadow work. That's her thing. And she had said that when it comes to imposter syndrome, she always believes if someone feels like an imposter, there's a level of truth to it. And when she said that, I was like, ooh, okay, let me sit with that. Let me unpack that. So if you don't feel good enough, there might be some truth to that. And we actually might need to change some things. I know not the most manifestation thing. Everyone usually is going to be, no, you're amazing. You're beautiful. You're great. Like, let's just do this. Like, let's just focus on mindset. Okay. And let's focus on self-concept. Yes, I'm all for that. But also at the same time, let's actually look at these areas that you don't feel good enough in. So, for example, Let's give you a really basic bitch example. You are manifesting a specific person and you feel like you are not happy in your body, you feel overweight, you feel like I can have this is what's going on inside your head. Oh, I'm probably going to be in this relationship or I'll start dating when I'm like 5 kilos lighter or 10 kilos lighter or whatever it is. And that's what's going inside your head. Okay. First off, let's go to manifestation. You want to be changing your thinking of like, no, I'm more than enough just as I am. Like, that's the self concept you want to be having. I am more than enough just as I am. I am more than enough for this relationship. I'm more than enough for this job. I'm more than enough, blah, 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 blah. That's the version of you want to be in. And that's what I would say. Yet at the same time, because duality is a thing, okay, let's actually look at why you're feeling insecure and not confident in your body. Let's not just mask it and band-aid it and just be like, okay, we're just going to focus on you're amazing and perfect as you are. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to up level. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to do this for you, which in a roundabout way, when you focus on this insecurity, and this isn't me saying, oh, you have to lose weight to get into a relationship. This isn't what I'm saying at all. But it's like, you're doing this for you. There's clearly a wound that's like, I don't feel good in my body. I feel insecure and I feel insecure about my weight. Okay, let's work on your beliefs in regards to you're great at maintaining a healthy routines for yourself. You look after yourself. You're like your top priority. Like, who would be the healthiest, happiest, hottest version of you right now? And what's going to happen is the more confident and happy you are within yourself, yeah, well, duh, of course, that's going to like positively impact this manifestation when it comes to your specific person. So again, I want to reiterate, you don't have to lose weight to be in a relationship, but let's also, if you are feeling, and that might not just be weight, let's use finances. Say you're feeling insecure about your financial situation when it comes to a specific person. Maybe you're like, oh, when I earn more money, then I'll feel more comfortable to go out on dates. Or when I earn more money, I don't know, then I can get into a relationship or whatever it is. It's like, okay, again, let's go the manifestation route of being like, you're amazing and you're enough. You're more than enough just as you are for this relationship, this thing, da 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 da. Let's have that as a self concept. Yeah, why not? Let's work on your money beliefs. Let's actually see and be like, okay, am I what? How can I practically build my confidence with money? Okay, maybe I need to fucking write a budget and maybe I need to be seeing where my spending is going. Like, what can you actually do for yourself to feel better? I think a lot of people will gloss over that and not address that, but do the work for you. And that's also going to positively impact other manifestations that might be seemingly tied to it because you're like, oh, when I have the money or when I have this body, then I'll have this. I intend that makes sense and my intention is clear. Yes, that's spot on about what you're saying. Insecurities can wreck you. Yes, yes, yes. And that's why I muscle tour. I felt so strong the more I was working out. Yeah, and it takes that stress. Exactly. So it's like this, you're doing it for you. You're being an up level version of you. So why wouldn't you want to do that for you? And that's also going to impact your confidence, impact your stability, impact how secure you are. So that's going to greatly impact your manifestation, whether it's like you being believing you're the perfect candidate for a job or being the best version of you to be in this relationship. Like, let's not waste our logical time just like being at home doing nothing and not up leveling ourselves or changing us because you're waiting for your manifestation. I intend that makes sense. You're amazing and perfect as you are. And at the same time, we're all like, we can always improve and refine things, always. They get to coexist. They get to coexist. You get to say you're perfect and incredible, and you get to work on insecurities, up level the fuck up, look after yourself a bit more. You get to do both. Amazing. Your tough love is gentle, by the way. Oh, good. Okay. I'm trying to like buffer it a little bit because I know I can be very direct, but this needs to be heard. It really, like, sometimes this work can feel hard. Manifestation is not for the faint hearted. Conscious manifestation is not for the faint hearted. To be fearless in the face of circumstances that are very triggering, you're a brave motherfucker to be doing that. To be doing that. To not believe what the 3D is showing you when everyone else, like 99% of the population, would. You're different. You're special. Like, anchor into how amazing that is. Okay, I could probably spend another 5 hours on here, but I, like, need to go do life admin. I am going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for joining me the past hour. I love how much the chat is popping. It's always nice to see, yeah, familiar faces that I've seen the past 3 days. Thank you for co-creating this live with me. Like, it's awesome to have this feedback, and to have the input. What else do I want to say? I'll probably see you in the next live, my next YouTube video, my one-on-one spaces, my membership, all that jazz. I intend that you found it super helpful. I'm sending you so much love. Do not waste this weekend. Let's come full circle. Do not waste this weekend. Go fucking enjoy your life. We love you too. That's awesome. Thank you. Do not waste this weekend, okay? You're not going to get this time back. Go have a fucking blast. Do you. Focus on you. Person, the money, the job, whatever. It's not going anywhere because you're God. All right. Toodles. Bye.